Blog Talk Radio, the world's largest online radio network.
Well, something that I was high on when I was a young child was Betsy Russel. If she was a drug, I would be taking her every day.
Still?
Still. Oh, my
Great.
God, still. Do you see what she looks like now?
I know what she looks like.
Oh, my God.
I remember her. She's been in my vault. She's in my vault.
She's in your bank?
Little avenging angel.
Well, I will say that...
high school girl by day.
You know...
Street hooker by night.
You know the trailer. I remember the box. My uncle used to have a
Yeah, oh, yeah,
the
the front. It had like a split box.
Split right in the
one
middle.
was the high school girl, and then one was her all done up.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
Well, it is our Halloween episode, and you guys might know her best as Jill Tuck, Jigsaw's wife in the Saw franchise. I'm really excited about this one. Here she is. It's Betsy Russel. Betsy, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Ooh. My heart's racing a little bit right
Hi.
now, so let me catch my breath. Oh
Hi,
my
how
God.
are you guys?
Just blushing.
It's me. That intro music made me sad. I miss Saw.
They ruined the Saw music with dubstep. That's today's kids these days. All right, so let's talk about Saw. Everyone wants to talk about Saw. We got people lined up for the last hour and a half waiting to talk to you. But before we get to that, with all the horror films that come out every year, why do you think Saw was such a big success?
Well, I've said it so many times. I think that Saw had a heart. I think behind Jigsaw, he had a reason and a purpose for doing the things that he did, and he was really trying to help people appreciate their life and see what they had done wrong in the past and give them a chance to correct it by putting them in those terrible traps and letting them try to get out of them by changing their ways. So I really think it had a conscience and a heart, and I think people connected to that. That's what I like to think anyway.
Now, from what we
Hello?
read on, so what we read many times before was that you actually didn't audition for a role. You were engaged to Mark Berg, who no audition process said, which role do you want? Do you want Jigsaw's wife? Do you want to be a nurse? And you're like, I'll be Jigsaw's wife. Did you realize how life-changing that decision would be?
Well, first I want to say I was finally sleeping with the right guy.
Yeah.
That was his line. You know what? No, are you kidding me? First of all, he didn't even say, do you want to be Jigsaw's wife? He said to me, there's a couple little day parts in Saw that's coming up, and one I think is like a nurse, and the other one I don't really know what she is. And I was like, well, you don't know what she is? And he goes, no, they're both about the same size roles, and you could have one of them if you want, and you'll be up in Canada anyway, so why don't you do it? And I was like, okay, well, I think I'll be in the mystery role, because I don't know. A nurse sounds, fine, but I'd like to be in the mystery role. So when I did it, I didn't have any idea. In my mind, she was a girlfriend or an ex-wife or a wife, but I didn't really nobody told me anything. I just, had this little love scene with him at the park, and I kept thinking that it would get cut out because I didn't really see any reason for it to be there. So when it was left in, I was happy, and then when the writers, made it this really great part, I was ecstatic, and it's just something that they do in Saw. A lot of times they'll take this tiny little role and turn it into something great. So I'm very grateful. I had a great run with it.
Are you still with Mr. Berg?
No, we broke up.
Wait, so you're
friends.
single?
We've been friends for 25 years. Well, I don't know what I am. It's complicated.
Wait.
Can I say that it's complicated?
So that's what's
but
on
I'm
your
not with
Facebook
Mark.
right now? It's complicated.
He's married. Mark's married and doing very well.
So there's still a shot. I still have a chance
still
right
a chance, Matty.
This is
I'm
right
not married.
in my
I'll
day.
leave it at that.
I just
She's
jumped
not
up.
married. She's available, is what she's saying.
I'm available.
You
I'm definitely not married. Have not been married for a long time. So
how does a girl like you go on dates, though? I mean, you are absolutely beautiful. If you look up your name online, especially like IMDb, you look on the message boards and people, these are like the movie geeks, they write little synopsises of every film and every little thing you could think of. And everything under your name is like, she's hot, she's beautiful, she's wonderful, I love her, she's beautiful.
Aww.
How does someone like you not going on Match.com? How are you meeting men?
Oh, I actually I did go on. I met my last boyfriend on a website. I was only on for 3 weeks, and it's the only time I've ever been on it. Usually, I don't know. You know what? To tell you the truth, I'm not single ever very long. Maybe this will be the first time, but I've been in a relationship pretty much my whole life, whether it was married or with a boyfriend. So I really haven't dated, really. It's just kind of worked out that way. And right now I'm just very, I live in Malibu, so it's like I'm out in the country. I don't dress up. I'm just in sweats and a hat usually. And, we just hang out and go to the juice bar, and I'm raising my kids. They're almost grown now. So I don't know how I meet people, and I don't really date. So
yeah, but to
answer your question.
We're not going to give away your age, but you look nothing.
Yeah, I'm 49.
You look nothing like
I'm 49.
All right, so you're 49. Yeah. You look like you're 29. So I'm assuming you're probably getting hit on by like 21-year-olds. So you're not going to be happy with a 50-year-old dude.
No, I dated my last real boyfriend before this one I was just with was 70, and he was a great guy.
70?
Yeah, we're still good friends. 70, yeah. But I don't think age, souls don't have an age. That's what I say. So I have dated young guys, but my kids don't like it, and I've dated older guys, and it's just the person. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't think I'd end up with a really young guy, but you never know.
How about
my kids are almost out of the house now.
How about dating a radio DJ? Ever think about that?
Or a co-host?
You never know. You never know. But I'm not even thinking about dating.
I'm in Malibu.
Anyway, I'm very,
so much in common.
I work out a lot,
I dated a 7-year-old too.
Well, let's just hope. I said that at the last event that I did. I forget where it was, but I went up to one of the cute guys. They were kind of following me around. I did like one of the Comic-Cons, and the comics were kind of following me around. And I said, "Are you guys going to be doing this to me when I'm 70? Because I hope you do." And they were laughing, but I don't know. I just try to be, beautiful on the inside, and hopefully that comes through.
Wow. Well, back to Saw. I don't know how we can go back to Saw after this.
What Saw?
I'm fascinated that you dated a 70-year-old. Did he? I always thought Tobin Bell looked like he was 70, and I'm not trying to disrespect him at all. But the one thing I couldn't get out of my mind was that there's no way that she would be married to someone like this. I don't care if he's a stand-up comedian and tell these fuzzy, warm jokes.
You were totally wrong. You were so wrong, and there I was dating a 71-year-old very, very soon.
Pushing him around in his wheelchair.
But he's not your typical 70-year-old. He looks really young, and he's really hip and cool and happening, and
does he wear like Red Hot Chili Pepper T-shirts and like ripped up?
No. But he's you'd understand if you saw him. He's just. What's that?
I'm just fascinated. I'm just fascinated by it.
You blew his mind by saying.
Oh yeah.
I'm like malfunctioning right now.
It's not easy. It's tough being a almost 50-year-old in Los Angeles, and like I said, out in the country in Malibu where you don't meet very many people because it's just it's tough to date. It really is. So.
Sure is.
Yeah. Well. Saw films. Do you keep any of the memorabilia? Do you have anything like I'm going to keep this and to be my memento? What's the one thing that you in your mind that you remember that you kept?
Well, I tried to keep the name on the back of my director's chair, but somebody stole it. I wanted to keep that really badly. What do I have from Saw? I'm sure I have a little animal that Tobin gave me, like a little, I don't know, it was just kind of like a little cute thing that he gave me one time. But actually, I lost it. It was in a suitcase now. I don't know where it is. I'm looking around my house. No, I've got things. Shoot, where are they? I don't know if I've got anything. I'm sure I must. Oh, I've got clothes. I've got a ton of clothes from Jill Tech. Everything else has been sold, but I've got the clothes.
Nice.
Got some of it anyway.
Well, Saw was the biggest horror franchise ever. Why would they stop making them? They didn't cost that much to make. Why stop?
Mark was sick of me. No, I'm kidding.
He found out you were dating a 70-year-old, and you ruined Saw.
No, we broke up first. I think it had kind of had its run, and they wanted to go out with a bang instead of, slowly dying in a way. So I think we went out with a bang. I think the last film did better than any of the others worldwide. So we did really, really well worldwide, and it made a ton of money. So hopefully, they don't need the money, so I guess they just want to go out with class. I'll say that. It kind of run its course, but I still believe eventually, whether I'm a grandmother at that time or whatever, I think they'll bring it back. I hope. but because I think there's more to be told. I mean, the people that wanted it to end after 3 probably, are still curious, but who knows? I think we went out with class, and that's good.
Well, you have a built-in
Hopefully.
audience, so whenever you guys do come out with one, people will see it.
Yeah.
And it's just not a remake.
I think there
don't
should
want to
be
see
a-
a remake.
No, I think there should be a TV series or something. I need work. I would like to do that.
Great
Oh,
idea.
a steady thing like that.
Mark
you
probably doesn't want to work
mentioned,
for
Saw 3. Is there
I'm
anything
joking.
different about filming it in 3D? Anything that the actors have to do differently, or is it just a special camera?
No, it was a lot different, mostly because the director and all the crew had never worked in 3D before. So it was their first time, and it was our first time, and everything took triple the amount of time to set up. And that was basically it. You just kind of hope for the best, and there are these huge cameras, and it was pretty cool watching, some of the scenes we shot the day before on this big screen and putting the glasses on and watching it in 3D, and it was a little too close, I thought, at times. But it was pretty similar, it just took a lot more time.
Now, I did hear you mention that Mark probably doesn't want to work with me. I'm assuming that was a bad falling out?
No, I don't think his wife likes me, but his new wife, but they never do.
How old is his new wife?
A lot younger than I am. I think right now.
Yeah, but I would bet my bottom dollar that you're
She hates
10
me.
times more smoking hot than she
And
is.
a lot more insecure than she is.
Oh, yeah. You know you're hot.
You need more secure. Well, she was a model. She's a lot taller and a lot darker. I think she's Indian, half Indian. So he likes the dark. But that's okay. I love them both. I wish them nothing but the best. He changed my life. I tell him that all the time. Very grateful. And he's done a great thing with these Saw movies. They all have. So I'm happy. Happy for all the time we had together. I could start singing.
Now, we had actually asked this question on our social media.
What?
We asked everyone to tell us if you could pick one Saw death, like a crazy maniacal death, what would it be? And a couple people had some good ones. I want to ask you, if you had one, is there something in particular you could think of that would be like a really torturous death that would be great in one of these Saw films?
No, you know why? Because I don't think about torturous things in my off time. I think about spirituality and happiness and bliss. I would think of Jigsaw and Jill coming back together and then dying together.
Down
like
a mountain.
or something.
Sitting in the
I
hot
don't think
yoga
about
class.
that stuff. I'm not even a horror fan. I love being in the movies, but that's not my thing. So I seriously try not to think of that stuff. But I'm sure everyone else does think of them. So I'll leave that to them.
Well, here's two of the ones that I thought were. One of them was Death by Forklift Foot by Honey Boo Boo's mom. I don't know if you're a fan of the Honey Boo Boo series.
No, I don't know that. Yeah.
You don't know Honey Boo Boo?
Good for you.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I just haven't watched it yet.
There's another
too
thing we
busy
have in
watching
common.
And
Yeah.
someone said Death by Torture. And they said by putting on your scene in private school over and over and over again until someone goes insane.
Oh, that's sad. I thought they'd like watching it over and over again.
I think it's a case of not being able to...
In a good way?
Oh, yeah. I think it's a good way. I don't think this is meant in a bad way.
No, I mean, with you and Phoebe Cates
that's
in the
sweet.
movie.
What about it?
I said you and Phoebe Cates in the same movie blew my mind as a kid.
Oh, yeah, she's a great girl. We had so much fun. We're still friends, too. Yeah, she's great.
And you both still look...
She really broke
fantastic.
me. She broke me into the business in a great way. We had a lot of fun together.
Now, I had heard that she was your idol at the time when you shot Private School.
She was. Oh, yeah. I mean, after Fast Times, and then to hear that I was auditioning for her next movie, I was so excited, yeah. And then when I saw her in the audition, she was really sweet. And then they told me when I went to when I did the audition, right afterwards, they had a little producers meeting, and they said I had the part. So I went to her set the next day, and they introduced me to her, and she was like, "Are you worried about the nudity?" And I was like, "Well, not really." And she goes, "Well, if you are, I did like 25 nude scenes in Paradise. It was no big deal."
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Oh, thanks. Okay."
It's funny that she,
but
like you mentioned, she did 25 nude scenes in Paradise, but everyone remembers her for Fast Times. That slow motion, that slow-moving scene where she's getting topless. And the only thing I could say is that in that same film, Private School, there's a scene very similar. The riding on the horse, the topless scene. It's just something that's ingrained in my head from my childhood, which I know you just Google your name online, you're attached to it. Do you ever regret doing it? Because here we are 25, 27 years later, and you click your name, and the third thing that comes up here on Google is a still shot of you riding a horse with your boobs hanging out.
I'm so grateful I did it, just like I knew I would be, because I had already started the movie when they decided to write that scene in. And they came to me about, a few days into filming, and they said, we have a new scene that we wrote for you. How would you like to be on the horse? And they told me the situation, and then you're going to be riding topless in slow motion. And so I had this vision, riding with that helmet, looking like a dork with my boobs up, flying up and down. And I said to the director, you know what, I think we could turn it into a beauty shot. As long as my helmet comes off and my hair is blowing, I'll do it. And I knew that I would never have a body like that again. I was 19 years old, and I'm excited that my grandkids and great-grandkids hopefully won't have a problem with nudity and are going to think it's great. I'm happy I did it.
I'm happy you did it too.
I turned down Playboy. There was a really great spread they were doing with a famous photographer, 5 up-and-coming starlets, and my stepmom said, that's just sort of like silly to do that, and I didn't do it. And I just thought it was important for this type of.
Yeah, but don't you think it's weird that you turned down Playboy? Yet, from what I understand, your grandfather was good friends with Hugh Hefner, and you actually met your future husband at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, but at that time, it wasn't really cool to be in Playboy. It was kind of like you were either a playmate or you were an actress, and they didn't usually cross over. So I really made a decision that in my mind I was going to do these. I didn't even want to do TV. I just wanted to do movies, and the movies that I was getting offered, except that I almost did Silverado, which I should have, obviously. But these movies, to me, they were big movies, and I had billboards all over, and they were, at the time, I said, okay, I'm doing pretty well, and I was just hoping to keep kind of stepping it up, which didn't exactly happen, but
Once that scene hit, though, you were like the it girl. If Rolling Stone had that it issue, you'd be on the cover. At that point, who's the most famous person to hit on you as soon as that movie is released?
Everybody. Oh, my God. Well, Rob Lowe was really famous then. I went out with him a couple times. Every producer, director was calling just to have meetings with me. And, like I said, I always had a boyfriend. I was living with somebody.
Well,
had
Rob
normal.
Lowe, what's his line to you?
He called me and said, hi. And I said, hello? And he said, this is Rob Lowe. And I said, oh, hi. And he said, would you like to go out with me? And he's still, no, I shouldn't say that. Oh, God. But anyway, he's
still calling you?
Like that. No, we're friends. But if you see somebody, if those guys, stars, if they see somebody they like, they call them and ask for a date. It's very simple. That's it. Whoever they are, rich, famous, anything.
Interesting.
One or the other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that dude with the chicks that were like underage?
He did have a run. Yeah, there was a controversy, but I think it was. Yeah, he was cleared of everything.
Anyway, we'll get away from that. I
had a lot of offers. But I had watched my ex-husband since I was 12 on TV. So when I met him at the mansion, I was just obsessed with him. And
so what the hell are you doing at the mansion, though? I know your grandfather was a friend of you, but what is a girl like you at 19, 20, 21 years old doing at the Playboy Mansion with all these half-naked broads?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, my grandfather wasn't just a friend of Hef. My grandfather was a famous writer, philosopher, and he was a lot older than Hef, probably like 20 years, and he lived there half the year. So Hef wanted him to live there all the time, but he had to go back to New York and be with his wife the other half of the year. His wife was very liberal, and I didn't have a relationship with him because my mom and her father, Max, did not get along. So when I was 17, I graduated high school early, moved to L.A. I was waitressing in Westwood, and some girl said, do you want to go to a Playboy party? And I was like, oh, you know what? I think my grandfather lives there. So she took me up there, and I was like, Grandpa? And he's like, Betsy, you're all grown up. I was 17. I mean, a young 17. So he said, basically come up whenever you want. But the thing is, I never saw the dark side up there. I never saw the drugs. Nobody ever introduced me to any of that. They were just really, it was very just PG for me. I didn't go to any of that bad stuff, but yet I could go up during the day. Anytime I wanted, lay out by the pool. I mean, Vanna White was out there topless. I remember all the time we were friends, but it was a lot of fun back in the day. And then when I met my ex-husband, ended up marrying him, his family, the Van Pattens, were always allowed to come up. So it was just fun. It was like a second home. You know, it's still second home to Jimmy, his brother, my ex-husband's brother, Jimmy Van Patten, who's good friends with Hef, and he, you know, they go up all the time. So
he's that dude that hangs out Pauly Shore all the time.
Pauly Shore. Jimmy, I don't think Jimmy Van Patten does he? Maybe he does.
I thought I saw them together last time I was there.
Probably. He's single now, so he's always
first
out,
family of TV, the Van Pattens.
Yeah.
Those guys are.
What's it like when he takes you home to the Van Patten first dinner, the first meeting? Like, I want you to meet my parents. What's that like?
It wasn't like that. Listen, what a weird coincidence this was. I was 17, had just moved to L.A., got into an acting class, went with this guy in class for him to get an agent. I did a scene with him, and I ended up getting the agent. Guess who they also were representing? Dick Van Patten. Wow. So I had met Vinny and gone out with him a couple times, but then I went to my agency party and ran into the whole Van Patten family, and I was like, oh, my God, I know your son Vince, and I just had a date with him and whatever, and then Jimmy and I were kind of friendly because Vincent was always on the road playing tennis, so I just started hanging out with them, you know, just up at the mansion and whatever, and then later when they brought me home, it was like we already knew each other. It was very, very weird things like that happened all the time.
Someone that I know in
Hollywood's
Hollywood.
Small.
Well, someone in Hollywood that I know, it segues right into this, told me to ask you about how Michael J. Fox hit on you on the on Family Ties.
Family Ties?
Yeah.
Who asked you that? Who said
Can't
that?
tell you. I'd heard that Michael J. Fox was putting the moves on you.
Nope. Is it true?
Nobody else has ever said that to me. That is very funny. That was my very first speaking part on Family Ties. I just saw it recently. I think it's on YouTube. That's the only way I saw it, where I said one line, and I think either my manager wanted to set it up, or he said, you want to come out to the park, we're playing baseball or something like that. So that's all that happened. But he was a sweetheart. I mean, he was great. I wish he would have asked me out. But
he could have had you.
that time he could have had me. Yeah,
wow.
He was a big star already, and I probably wasn't, I don't know what I was. I was probably already dating guys 20 years older or something. I don't know.
You like
remember.
guys that are 20 years older, especially that 70-year-old. I still can't get that out of my head. Can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I did.
What
then,
if I put an
but
old man mask on? Would you like me better? Could we possibly go out on a date?
No, I really don't. That was the only older guy I ever dated.
Hip old guy.
You know what it was? Michael J. Fox seemed like he was 15, on the show. So I kind of wanted to be with somebody 20 or something. He seemed young, yeah.
Well, before you worked with Murderers and Saw, you worked with Simpson. What was that experience like?
With who? You cut out. Who did I work with?
on First and 10. O.J. Simpson on First and 10.
Oh, yes. Right. Did I work with him? I don't think I had any scenes with him, but he was on the set. That's right. And plus my girlfriend was, my roommate was dating him. How funny is that?
Really? She alive?
John Brody's daughter, Diane.
She made it?
Is she alive?
Yeah, I guess she
exactly.
took the cut. She didn't get the cut.
She's still alive. Yeah, no, it was, I didn't have any scenes with him, but his best friend, the guy that drove the Bronco, what's his name?
Al Cowling.
The guy that drove the, yeah, he was a lot of fun, and he was there all the time. Yeah, that was a fun. I ended up dating that guy too.
Was he his driver on the set?
He was the driver of the Bronco.
Oh, was driver.
OJ's driver. Yeah, he was fun. But that whole group was part of my group too, because then later my roommate used to go jogging with them all the time, and like I said, it's just one big athletes, actors. You're all young, everybody sort of mixes. So it was fun.
I also had someone else in Hollywood
great.
that had asked me to ask you about Cheerleader Camp. Not about the film itself, but they had told me that ask her to explain why Leif Garrett was such a creep on that set.
Was he? No, I think there was a different guy that was a creep. Who was it? It wasn't Leif. No, we were good friends. Leif was in the show with my ex-husband, so we ended up all hanging out. He was a creep to who? Not to me.
That's what they told me. I don't know. That's what I was told.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. It was like being in high school, so everyone had their little moments and everything. So I had a great time.
Well, you were, like I said, the It Girl, and B movies were the big rage back in the 80s and early 90s. Can you believe that she was in a movie called Tomboy? I can't get over that. How could you ever be in a movie called Tomboy? Like we said before.
Have you seen what I look like in that movie? I look like a Flashdance throwback.
Well,
my hair was seriously out of control.
I
looked like a tomboy.
No, you did not. No. You could never look like a tomboy.
Nothing boy about you.
Really? You're
Nothing.
kidding. Oh,
Nothing.
sweet. Thanks. Well, I guess I always was kind of prissy, but I tried.
Avenging Angel, I remember that. I remember the box, like we were talking about before we had you on. Avenging Angel. Go ahead. What is it, Dave?
The box is split in half, and one is the high school girl by day, and then the other half had it all done up, and Hooker by Night.
Yeah, that was a crazy movie.
I saw something.
I just saw the director recently.
Did you? He's like, let's do a
Robert
remake.
Lyons. He wants me to do a play that he's doing, and I can't do it. But he's a great guy. He really fought for me on that movie because they wanted the girl that had done the first one to do the second one, and he said no, he wouldn't do it without me. And I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was fun. Had a good time.
Do you think that reality TV has kind of taken the place of the B movie nowadays?
Yeah, I think it's taken the place of practically everything. It seems to be anyway, soaps, and I don't know. I think people just like to look into other people's lives, and if the people aren't boring, they like to watch them because it makes them forget about their own lives, and sometimes we identify with other people, and sometimes, I haven't watched much of it, but I think we can learn things from people, what not to do and how not to act and how to be better people. And I don't know. I don't think they're so bad. I love all the music shows. I mean, I love all the X, whatever you call it, The Voice and X Factor. I love all those shows. So those are reality, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're in that mold.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with all that stuff, as well as like the 48 Hours and those types of shows. I could just watch those all day long. I love reality. I do. I mean, it's sad, a lot of things that happen, but it just reinforces that human nature. I mean, we're so strong, and I like watching other people get through things, knowing that I, could get through the same thing if I had to, because it's just inspiring sometimes.
Tell us the most random thing about you that you've never talked about before.
Well, you probably know I'm into spiritual psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone knows that. Okay, that's not random. Well, it was when I started. I think that was pretty random. How about I think I've said everything. I grew up in a commune, basically. You
didn't say that.
No.
Yeah. I basically grew up in a commune. So my sister is severely autistic, and we had all these people that lived with us. Like there was probably about 15 or 20 of us living in this 4-bedroom house in La Jolla. And we all lived together. We actually had separate beds, but did like a not a family because we weren't related, but like we all slept in one room for quite a while. I've never said that before, so that's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. But it was the 60s and 70s, and people were experimenting, and my mom was definitely one of those people doing rolfing and all that stuff. So I'd come home every day from school, and she'd be doing group therapy or rolfing or screaming or just a lot of chaos. So
well, I can tell you, I've watched Private School a million times. On the pause button, I was screaming myself. Not to freak you out, but we got a bunch of callers that want to talk to you. We got Ty from Iowa. Ty, you're on the line.
Hi.
Hi, Bets.
Hi. What's
up? You'll always be Jordan Lee Jensen to me.
But
my question first of all was, what's your favorite color?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. I like turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wondered if you were going to do you have any movie projects coming up?
I did one movie about a year ago called My Trip Back to the Dark Side. And it's just a little movie I did for a friend, and I think that it's coming out on DVD or pretty soon. And that's pretty much it. That's all I've done recently.
Ben, your voice scares me. It sounds like you're like a stalker kind of dude.
Is it Ben or Ty?
I'm sorry, Ty.
The funny thing is, I'm a clergyman, but
really?
I still remember private school.
That's why
I'm glad you still remember it. That's nice.
Oh, that's
I
why.
like to be unforgettable.
Clergymen staring at you naked makes me hate religion. Anyway, we got Paul all the way from Australia. Paul, you're on the line.
Cool.
Yes,
Hi.
yes, thank you so much, Matty. Hi, Betsy Russel. How you doing, dear?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I was thinking that, it'd be awesome is that there can be still like to be like a Saw movie, I believe, where it's actually you at the end, which is setting up all the traps, avenging your husband in the movie. Make it Jill's revenge. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I don't think Jill has a bad bone in her body. I don't think she's very vengeful.
Yeah, but that'll be the twist. That'll be the shocking surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to keep her pure myself, but it's a nice thought. I just, I like to think she's a really good person with a great heart.
We can make a Saw movie where Jill ends up with a 70-year-old man and ruins everyone's life. Oh, my fantasies.
No.
All right, we got Ben from New Mexico. Ben, you're on the line.
Hey, Betsy, what's up?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm not the stalker voice. That was the other guy.
That's okay. It doesn't
Okay.
matter what your voice sounds like.
Oh, no. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, I'm from, this forum that, we obsessed over the Saw movies and everything. House of Jigsaw, I'm sure you've heard of it. I mean, I think you actually did a little question and answer thing on it every once in a while. I posted it on
2 hours.
Yeah, I posted on the group, so they're all listening too. So hi, everybody. Kevin actually.
Hi, everybody.
At my post.
Hi, Saw fans. I'm glad you're still out there.
Yeah,
I'm glad you
Kevin
haven't forgotten us. I should say that.
Yeah, Kevin might even be listening to us right now too. And
Who is this Kevin? Is he that 70-year-old man?
No, he's the
Kevin
director.
Greuter?
He's the director of
one,
the 6th and 7th,
and the editor of all the others. He's a great
Good work, Kevin. Good
Saw
work.
history.
Yeah.
Well, I have two things to say. One, you mentioned about your chair back seat that was stolen from you.
You did it, didn't you?
I mentioned what?
Your chair that was stolen. Yep, Kevin's listening.
Yeah, no, not the chair, but my name. My name on the back of the chair. But I know who took it. Yeah.
John Rabin was selling all of them for hundreds of dollars on his website.
I know. I realized that afterwards. Yeah, I should have taken it. Darn it.
He's even selling Shawnee Smith's underwear for $10,000.
What?
That's disgusting.
It's
I
on the
heard
official
that.
Stop store, but yeah. What my question was if.
Wait, I have a question. Are they thongs or are they regular?
It's her maxi panties. It says.
It
shows wear.
Huh.
That guy's a real
That's
creeper.
strange.
Whoever that guy is that sells all the sock hops, he's a real creeper.
John Rabin, yeah. Oh well, at least he's working.
Yeah.
He's working it.
He's saving.
Oh, you got a question there?
Oh, yeah, my
Ben?
question was that if your faith in the last Saw movie, did that have anything to do with you breaking up with Mark Berg right before it?
Oh God, no. The writers wrote that.
We were always joking about that. Who's the guy in hospital with Jill? Then you broke up. It's Jill.
I didn't break up with him anyway. He broke up with me. But no, that didn't have anything to do with it. No, silly. I think they just figured, it was the last one, and they'd finally get rid of me in a big way. So.
You died.
Nobody really ever dies in Saw anyway, so.
You died in the most epic way, and there's a huge spoiler on one of the posters too, and yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Nice talking to you.
All right, have a great day. You too.
Blog Talk Radio, where millions of hosts and listeners gather.